us questions.
Just get past that in your head, and then also once you start seeing success, don't just fall into the trap of how many likes does this one have. You know, Khaled, you said earlier, right? Don't just chase the likes. Don't always focus on the algorithm. Just show up with high quality content.
Yeah, I like it. I call this thing that people go through the cringe mountain. So you post, and it's cringe, and you have to get to the top where you cringe so hard of what you wrote, and then you get over it. Because realistically, talking about ourselves is always going to be hard. We're told by society to not talk about ourselves, to not put ourselves in that situation where we're self-promoting. But ideally, you are your own best product, and you should be cringing out. If you're not cringing at the post that you wrote a year ago, what are you? That you're doing it all wrong.
Well, there's I'm blanking on the YouTuber, but he's got this great line, and I'm sure a bunch of people have used it, but it takes 100 bad videos to get to the first good one. I feel like with posts, it's like the same thing. And so I know I cringe actually about everything I post even still, but like, it's like, at least it's like, you accept the fact that it's part of the process, and you're like, all right, well.
And I think now that's even less because people drop in and out. Even though it's growing, people still drop off. So the competition isn't getting that much fiercer. People drop off all the time. I'm seeing this every single day. I am on the platform about 5 hours a day. So you don't need to do video to win, but you just have to show up and be consistent, like Patrick said.
Okay, the first thing when it comes to content creation, with focus on educational content, and like Lara said, you need to add your inspiring personal stories. So maybe 80% educational content, how to do stuff like this, and 20%, this is what happened with my clients, this is what happened with me, this is the challenges I went through, and this is how I solved it. So this is when it comes to the content. The best answer for what's the best posting frequency is the frequency your time, effort, and budget can maintain it for a whole year. So if you're comfortable with posting once a month for a whole year, do that. Stick to that. It's not about how many times you're posting. And then the second part is engagement. Commenting is the growth hacking of LinkedIn. It's not posting, it's commenting. So I can create a list of people in the same sector, a list of decision makers, a list of people, the biggest accounts in my city or target city, and I start commenting on them with higher frequency than posting. And the comment should not be AI comment. Do not do AI comment. It has to be real comment, fake images. LinkedIn has something, has the dark side, which is everybody's a CEO, everybody's founder.
A guru.
And I feel like I'm nobody. But that's not too bad. The good thing about LinkedIn, it doesn't have anonymous accounts, and this is one. The second thing is it's the best B2B platform. So if I want to find someone, I can see all their career path. So I'm talking to a real person, unlike any other platform.
2025. It's obvious that this industry is no longer a niche industry, and it's a global powerhouse, which is lovely because
really to varying degrees, but technology is democratizing all these steps, and so as a result, you have this vast increase in content, right? And a lot of that is being
Welcome on stage, Khaled. Woo!
That encourages more investors to come from across the globe. In addition to finding specific opportunities in new economies, new economic sectors such as the usual sectors, the blockchain, fintech, or the other sectors that are growing around the globe. So Dubai provides a very holistic approach in terms of opportunities that serves very well entrepreneurs and investors in a very sustainable growth numbers.
A halo effect on the Duolingo brand as a whole. Social has really driven marketing and our marketing campaigns, which is pretty unique for most brands. In fact, it's had such an impact on our brand that we were even part of a shareholder letter where investors were asking, what's the ROI of this owl doing different things on TikTok? And the ROI was pretty impressive. We saw insane year-over-year growth in impressions, which led to new users, which led to more money for the brand. This was huge.
Yeah, I've never met a leader I admire more, ever. And I admire him for the reasons that you just listed. He is wise. And wisdom is impossible without humility. And humility is merely the acknowledgement that you're not God. You know, there's a famous English Saxon king who, you practically great, I'm mangling it in my head, but about 1,000 years ago, upon being crowned, went down to the North Sea and noted to everyone around him, I did not create these waves. Because I'm not God. Like, let's start by acknowledging that. And that acknowledgement, which is very hard for most people, including me, to say out loud, I'm not God. It sounds like it'd be easy, but it's kind of hard to see. I'm God, you know? But you're not. And for a leader to say that out loud and to act on the basis of that knowledge, to know that no human being can see the future, that all human decisions are potentially wrong, that is the basis of wise decision making. And I will say, I've said this before, and I really mean it, I've interviewed an awful lot of people who run things, including countries, and I've never heard anybody answer questions, and I've spoken to him, quite a number of times, quite a few times. I've never heard any leader of anything, particularly in a country, when asked a question, say, I'm not really sure about that. They won't say that. Because they can't. They can't break character. And the character that they play is the omniscient God figure. And it's people like that who end up making genocide possible and nuclear war possible. Anyone who confuses himself for God is liable to get a lot of people killed.
Feedback as reality for ourselves. So ask yourself, who are the 3 people I trust in my niche, in my space? Personally, if I know them, it's incredible. If I don't know them, who are the people online that I turn to, that I value their opinion? And let me make sure that I understand their thesis and their hypothesis so deeply that when I hear all these random things from everyone else around me, I'm not just distracted by it. I'm not just wavered by it. I'm not just swayed by it, because I'm trusting the experts. I'm trusting the people who have actually been to where I want to go. I'm trusting the people who've paved the way. I'm trusting the people who've been there. Right? The other thing that comes with when we're thinking about resilience when it comes to people's opinions and what do we do with it, one thing that I've really realized that has transformed my whole life is what can I take as feedback and how can I leave the poison, right? And what I mean by that is even if someone says something that I don't like, it doesn't mean it doesn't have value. It can actually have so much value if I'm able to extract the poison out of it, the venom, the kind of hatred, the pain, all of that stuff, the trauma that's coming through this comment. And how can I actually learn to extract the goodness, the joy, the power, the beauty in what they're saying? Because it is there. It's just that it's covered over by this venom and bitterness and trauma and everything else. So let me become a miner of the greatness in this person's feedback.
في دولة الإمارات أرض الفرص ولا إحنا أرض المستقبل؟ لماذا نحن هنا؟ ولماذا هذه الخدمة؟ نتحدث عن المحتوى